Go me. Okay. Today's subject is super duper important because obviously we're all posting every day and we're consistent with that. And our posts definitely gain traction in our business, and obviously we need to do it, but we can't forget about outreach and expanding our network and putting ourselves out there and talking to as many people as possible about what we do and these amazing challenge groups we run. But I think that the struggle comes in where some people are kind of jumping in a little too soon to the what we do and to our challenge groups, and it can become kind of awkward and uncomfortable. And a few of you have come to me, probably at some point the whole team has come to me in the past year just asking for some advice on connecting with people. And because they're hearing crickets, like they're reaching out and hearing crickets, or they're starting to talk to people but not quite knowing how to transition from the hey, how are you, how's it going, to that point where you're inviting to a challenge group, things like that. And so I'm going to offer a few tips that I'm hoping will help these conversations run a little bit more smoothly. And what I'm asking first is just to have a little bit of a mindset shift. On our business activity tracker, there's a place where you write down new connections, new contacts that we've made. There's a place that actually talks about, how many invitations we've done. But I actually think there's something missing, because a contact can just be, someone liked my like page, I'm going to friend them on Facebook, and there's my new contact. And invitation is obviously inviting to the coaching opportunity or a challenge group. But there's something that happens in the middle, and it's connecting with people. And so I would actually put a whole nother bar in there. I added that to my bat. Yes, that's so important, Lisa. And I think that Beachbody needs to add it to their business activity tracker, because we can't just jump in from a contact to an invite. So let me backtrack a little bit. Making connections for me hasn't been difficult. And the reason for this is because of how I think about connections. The whole reason I became a Beachbody coach was because I was alone. I was feeling lonely and isolated and didn't have a social life. I was feeling kind of trapped at home after being on bed rest. I really felt what it was like to be disconnected from the world, and I realized how much I needed people and connections in my life. So when I was told I needed to, part of this business was just connecting with people and talking with them, I was like, yes, sign me up. And, I realized that humans thrive on connections. In this day and age where things are so technology driven, I think that we forget about that, and we kind of can become a little too robotic, and that doesn't translate well for the human species. I'm completely, and utterly appalled and depressed about what's going on right now with the terrorists, overseas, and I won't get into it too much. What I choose to do is to create love and peace and connections with other humans in my own world. And that is what we can do now and today, and it's powerful. It is so powerful when you think of it that way. The products, the Beachbody products, are 100% amazing. They're tools that we've used and that have helped us, and that we know are going to help dozens and dozens and dozens and hundreds of thousands of gazillions of other people. But our job as coaches aren't to push these products. We don't make the products, we don't push the products. Our job as coaches is just to connect with people so that we can empower them, so that they know that if they want to change, they can change. But we can't just put ourselves out there and say, hey, what's up? I have this great product and it's going to help you. Do we know if they need help yet? Do we know how they need help yet? We don't know any of these things. Think of your own life and all the moving pieces in it. It's impossible to know. Like we're all unique individuals. We all came in, we all needed different programs. We all eat differently, have different diets, different nutrition aspects. So the goal then really is to start at ground zero with someone and just ask them how they are, find a connection with them. And through your journey of building that relationship, the opening is just going to happen. The opportunity to then transition to talking about our challenge groups and these Beachbody programs are just going to happen naturally. I can promise you 100%. And if it doesn't, if that window opportunity doesn't happen, that's okay. Like, let it go. You don't need to have take that weight off of your shoulders. You never have to have an awkward conversation that you don't want to have, ever. You never have to invite anybody that you feel uncomfortable inviting. Let it feel good. Let it feel real. That's what's always worked for me. And I can tell you 100%, I've had some people who maybe didn't get back to me from my like page or whatever, but for the most part, if I get to the window of opportunity that I feel it's right, and they say, no, not right now, I don't feel uncomfortable about that. And they do come back to me usually and say, hey, now I'm ready. And if they don't, that's okay too. Like, that to me isn't an awkward exchange. That's just part of that give and take, that relationship and that connection. So I want to give you a scenario. And this is kind of a real scenario because I do this all the time. I'm at Barnes and Nobles, and there's a girl in front of me, and she has this like really beautiful scarf on. It's like royal blue, like with like white floral print kind of on it. It's one of those flowing scarves, and it's really pretty. And at some point we kind of she's at the register and we make eye contact, and I'm like, I love your scarf. I literally go out of my way to compliment people wherever I go because it just feels good doing it. And I know that they like that. I know I feel good when I'm complimented. So I really do. I go out of my way to try and make other people smile. Just real connections in real life. Now, what would have happened in the same scenario if, again, I'm at Barnes and Nobles and we're at the little cafe, and I noticed that she got like a non-fat latte. And what if instead of complimenting her scarf, I say, hey, I noticed you got a non-fat latte, and I want to let you know I'm an online health and fitness coach, and I was just wondering, do you have any health goals I can help you with? Like, it's not me being rude. I mean, it comes from a good place, but doesn't that seem more awkward than complimenting her on her scarf? Like, you wouldn't do that, right? So I really want you to think that way. So bring that to the virtual world. Like, just because we're talking on computers doesn't mean you can have real connections with people. Be intentional in your connections. Like, I know it's hard because we are, trying to talk to as many people as possible and make as many connections as possible. I would rather you make one real connection a day with someone and have one real new conversation than connect with like 10 people just, willy-nilly. Yes, I just said willy-nilly, if that's a thing. So now the question is, how do we create these opportunities to connect with people online? And first of all, remember, you can make real connections offline too. Don't ever forget that. You could be at Starbucks, Barnes and Nobles, at Market Basket. I can't even tell how many people I just like talking to people. Just start chit-chatting. And again, it could just come up naturally in the conversation. Someone could say, oh my gosh, you have 2 kids? Like, you look amazing. What do you do? Or, geez, like, you must have good genes to have two kids and, look that way. And I'll let them know. I say, actually, you know what? And that's the window of opportunity right there. I'm an online health and fitness coach. Like, this is kind of what I do for my job. And I'd love to help you if you want to know what I do. Like, I can totally send you more information. Like, it just comes up naturally. So let that happen online. So, opportunities to connect. This first one is a great thing. Lisa actually brought this up the other day. When it's someone's birthday, and you don't have to do this for everyone, but if there's someone in particular that like you really want to reconnect with and you want to start up a conversation with, but you don't quite know like how to jump over that ledge, birthdays, send them a personal message rather than writing on their wall. Don't write, and Lisa and I were joking how people write like HBD, like HBD, like happy birthday. Like, that's, not super personal. Boo for HBD. Send them a personal message, Like that way, it's like a great way to just reconnect and start a new conversation. And it feels good that you send, people will love getting a personal message. It's like in real life getting a card. Next, we all are making lists of contacts, right? Start making lists of contacts based on what you're seeing in your Facebook feed. Like, let's say you're seeing someone who's checking in on the gym, checking in at a gym somewhere. That would be a great opportunity that when you do have time and you see them, like that they've been checking in on the gym, send them a message and be like, hey, I just wanted to give you like a virtual high five. Like, it looks like you're going to the gym a lot and that's awesome. Like, good for you. I like seeing your check-ins. Like, it's motivating, something like along those lines. If you're seeing someone posting positive quotes, and again, this is for me, like when I see people posting positive things, that's actually in my trigger. Like, I want to get to know them better. I want to reconnect with this person because they're putting out some positive vibes. I actually have a story. She's a challenger of mine now. She was just posting these positive quotes, and I didn't know her before. We connected on my like page, and I sent her a message one day, and I just said, I want to let you know that quote you just put up, it's one of my favorite quotes, because it was. It was like a Rumi quote, and I'm really into Rumi. And, you know, I just said, I love that quote. Like, it inspires me. It must inspire you too. And she said it does. So we reconnected a little bit there. And over the next couple weeks, I made more and more like contact with her. I noticed she was checking in on at the gym, and I said, wow, like, it sounds like we have similar interests, you know, which that's you're looking for these similar interests with people. And I said, I love working out too. I used to go to the gym, but since I have kids, it's hard to get there. And she agreed. She said, you know what, that's my one issue. I actually had gastric bypass surgery 6 months ago. And, you know, I've been trying to, you know, make sure I'm getting in shape and keeping off the weight. And I'm trying to eat a little bit better, but it's so challenging to get to the gym a lot. Ding! I found her challenge and I can provide her with a solution. Like, this is what I mean. We're not forcing. We're figuring out, like, what do people need? How can I add value to this person's life? And when you figure that out, that's when you can feel good about providing them with a solution. So I told her about my online health and fitness challenges and how these 30-minute workouts are incredible for busy moms and how it can make your nutrition simple. She signed up a week later, and she's one of my challengers. You know, if I had just like jumped in right away, even when I saw that motivating quote and had invited her, she might have been like, I don't really know this person, like, she doesn't really know me, and I might have gotten crickets. But because I took that time to care about her, to learn about her, to ask questions about her, that's what made all the difference, I think. It's building that relationship. So not only that, you know, start chatting with people whom, again, in their Facebook feeds, things you have in common with them. Are they also moms? You know, moms of multiples in my case. Do they love animals? Are they a teacher? Do they care about their faith and, you know, and share that on Facebook? Like, what are their passions, and do their passions align with yours? Are they doing fundraisers? A fundraiser thing is an amazing way to connect with people. You know, like, anytime I do March of Dimes every year. So if I see someone else doing March of Dimes, that's a great way to connect. Hey, like, this is so great. We're both doing the same fundraiser. I'm really into this organization as well. And I could share about like my story, and maybe they'd share about their story. I'm going into this conversation with absolutely no expectation that they're going to buy a damn thing. I don't care. I legitimately go into every conversation I have with someone just because I want to connect with them, because I care about them, because I care about people. I love people. You guys can tell that I love, you know, I'm passionate about people. So that's sort of some different things that you can look for in your Facebook feed rather than just anybody. I want you to be picky. We're building a tribe here. Like, there are people that I know I wouldn't want to touch with a 10-foot pole because of all their like negative Nancy-ness or, you know, forcefulness in other people. They're Judgy McJudgersons. Like, I don't want any of that in my life. I don't care if they would buy a challenge pack. I wouldn't want to be their coach, and I'm not afraid to say it. You know, there are people that are toxic, and we don't want that. We want the people that bring out the best in us too. This is a mutual relationship. And so it's okay to be a little selfish and be like, I want to work with this person, because it feels better that way. It feels more genuine. It feels more natural when you're starting to connect with people that feel good in your life. Let's see, what else? There's another thing. Oh, so that's sort of what you can look out for. As far as paying attention to what's happening with your posts, it's easy to connect with people who are commenting on our posts, because we'll reply and we'll maybe reach out. But don't ignore the people who are liking posts. You know, don't ignore those people. And even if it's a post they like that had nothing to do with like Beachbody or fitness or anything like that, like let's say someone, you know, likes a post of my kids or something, there's an opportunity to connect with that person. You know, you go to their page and just see what they're up to, you know, see what they're up to. Maybe like they have a couple kids too, and that's why they kind of saw your funny, silly video and, you know, connected with you. So reach out to them and be like, hey, I loved that picture that you posted of your daughter. She's getting so big. Oh my gosh, I can't believe it. You know? And that's sort of that they like, that's like a poke. It's like, remember, Facebook still do pokes. Like, consider it like a nudge. They liked your post. So let's start a little bit of a conversation, right? Oh, I want you guys to always be able to answer this question, because this comes up for me. You are expanding your network. You are growing your Facebook contact list. You're liking people who are liking your page, you know, your business page. I want you to always be able to answer the question, if someone that you liked messaged you out of random and said, hey, I just noticed you friend requested me. I don't think we know each other, do we? I was just wondering why you connected with me. And I've gotten this on several occasions. I want you to always be able to answer that question. And this again goes back to what I said about connecting with intention. Like, if someone sends you that message, you probably didn't take the chance to like go and look at their page and see what's up with them, and if you guys might have things in common, right? Like, just kind of go to their page and search it out. Are they a mom? Even something as simple as that. Are they a mom? Do they seem to, you know, like food, or are they posting recipes? Like, what are they posting about on their pages? Because then when they ask you that question, you can say, yeah, I love connecting with people who have similar interests. You know, it looks like we're both moms, or it looks like we both really like posting healthy, simple recipes, or it looks like we both like exercising and fitness. And I just like connecting with people that have similar interests to me. Like, if I connected with someone who was polar opposite of me, it probably would look kind of weird. I wouldn't really know how to answer that question. I'd be like, I'm just trying to expand my network. Like, that's not a good answer. We want to be able to answer that question. All right, so I think that's what I have for you. And, you know, to summarize, I really just want you to feel like you're making genuine connections with people. I don't want your fear of awkwardness to hold you back. And I want you to realize that you're in control of that. If you're making genuine connections, just like I said, being at Barnes & Noble's or being at the grocery store, you probably wouldn't think that was awkward if you complimented someone, or if you asked them what brand of something they were holding, or if you asked, hey, like, what do you think about this skirt if you're in the dressing room? Let's be honest, we're talking yoga pants, not skirt in this group. But, you know, I want you to make those genuine connections, because they can happen online too. It doesn't have to be just in person. You can have these connections online. So does anyone want to talk through a scenario that they had that they felt uncomfortable with, or any like challenges they're facing? Lisa's warming up. She's like ready to rock, I feel like. But seriously, does anyone have any like questions or anything?
I wasn't stretching to rock out. It was just like literally my back hurts. So I feel like the last couple of weeks I've really been reaching out to people because I want to like get to know them. Like, I There's one girl that I was on my husband's Facebook because I was bored with mine, and she posted a really good recipe. So then I Facebook friend requested her on my page, and she was like, do we know each other? And I was like, this is going to sound really weird, but I saw the food on my husband's. So then I sent you a Facebook friend request. We're literally sending novels back and forth. And it's so fun. Like, I love this girl. I'm going to go see her when I go home. And those I love. But then I'm in this struggle now where I feel like I go through, because I put people in lists on my Facebook. So I can kind of, that way it's not just like Lindsay Benson, you know. And
you don't want to see my posts all day long? What I don't know what you mean.
I mean, I do. I actually just like save them and just look at them all day. But I feel like I'm struggling finding people to reach out to now, because a lot of the times I'm like, okay, you're really negative. I'm actually going to delete you because I don't want this in my life. Like, but I don't want to reach out to people just to like put a name in a box either.
Totally.
So I guess it's like that disconnect between, you know, I want to reach my numbers every day and like reach my goals, but I don't want to just like reach out to people, but I want to reach out to people that I can actually relate to. Does that make sense?
Yeah, it totally makes sense. And so I'd say two things. One, being involved in Facebook groups that, you know, have similar like interests as you is a really helpful way of meeting new people, and just interacting in that group, making genuine connections there is super helpful. And then also, whomever your challenges are now, if you're connected with them, they have a whole plethora of Facebook friends that are at your disposal that you could probably connect with as well. And chances are, like, friends of the people that you connect well with, you're going to connect well with their friends too. You know, I remember Meg actually told me this one time that she made this great connection with one of her now coaches. Actually, it's Kayla. Kayla was a friend of one of her challengers. And Kayla had said, hey, great job, like on a post that this other friend had done. Mm-hmm. And Meg connected with her and just said, like, hey, I saw that you were just supporting like my girl so-and-so, like I'm her coach, and I just want to say hey, and like thanks for supporting her. So you know already that person was kind of coaching her friend already too. And you know that she's putting out this positive vibe. So that was kind of a cool way of expanding her network too, I felt like, just connecting with her challengers' friends. Is that helpful?
Yeah, that was helpful. Thank you.
No problem. Carrie, I saw you unmuted.
I'm happy to share.
Please do. I can't tell if this is going to be like a good share or a bad share. You're like, whoa.
I'm sorry, guys, if you even knew what was going on in my house right now.
You look good for no showers.
I was just boiling water to get the kids in the tub, and like now the tub water and the shower water aren't turning on. It's just a hot mess over here. Anyways, I'm so sorry I missed the beginning of the call, but it was a hot mess here.
Don't worry.
I want to share what you and I were talking about. Was it yesterday, Lindsay? Just yesterday?
Yes.
All right. So I'm guessing the majority of the conversation is about like expanding our network and like connecting with people and having it be in a genuine way, right?
Yes.
Is that okay? So I myself will admit that I was getting so hung up on Success Club and wanting to build this at a faster rate than it was, that I was just trying to connect with just anybody. And I was getting frustrated with it. I was getting frustrated with the process. I was having a hard time turning conversations. And it came to a screeching halt like yesterday. And I realized that I was like getting anxious and just being like, what is going on? Like, why aren't I connecting with these conversations like I was before? So Lindsay asked me a very simple question and said, tell me in 3 words how you want to feel. And what did I say? I said I want to feel appreciated, accomplished, and relax.
Yep.
And I didn't feel any of those. I felt anxious. I felt like I've really been acknowledging using the business tracker, and then I'm like, okay, gotta connect with 10 people, gotta invite 5 people. Who are those 5 people? Who are they gonna be? Gotta invite them. And like, I wasn't inviting in such a way that I was listening to the person. And I don't know if you guys listened to the National Wake Up Call today, or yesterday's, but it was, I don't know if you guys already talked about this, but it was awesome. And she talked about how she pretty much grew a business by planting roots. And I realized, she said something in the call where she was like, if you're getting nervous and anxious and irritable about conversations not going the way you want them to, the conversation, you're trying to steer the conversation for yourself more than you are for the other person. And that was like a huge light bulb for me. Like, when you, like, and Lindsay showed this to me, like, I sent Lindsay a quick message just being like, look at, like, me and this girl were having a great conversation. She literally unfriended me. And I was just kind of like, and Lindsay said, to be honest, like, it didn't seem natural. Like, when I tried to flip the conversation, it seemed kind of forced. It seemed kind of like, I was clearly trying to make a sale. So she was like, see you later. So I really took the National Wake Up Call to heart today when I finally got to listen to it, and just kind of scrolled through my list and tried to look at the people and figure out a way to serve them. What can I give to them? How can I help them? What else is going on in their life other than like fitness, other than wanting to lose weight? And it completely changed the conversations. And I felt better. I didn't feel icky.
And that's what's the most important thing. The most important thing. And I'm setting goals in a new way for myself because of that, Carrie. Like, when you force things and when you set these goals based on numbers it just doesn't work. How do you want to feel at the end of the month? It's not the number, it's the feeling. You could hit Success Club 30, but if you felt like you forced it, it still would feel gross, and you'd still be trying to figure out how you could do it differently.
Yep.
If you don't hit Success Club, but you feel like you really added value to every single person you talked with that month, then it's a successful month in my books. But here's what I think. I think if you let go of those numbers and you let go of that forcefulness and you just make genuine connections every day, Success Club is just going to come, because you're going to build more trusting relationships. Does it take longer to build these relationships? 100%. That's why a lot of times my business goes through these cycles, because I pour my heart out, and then I'm so exhausted sometimes that I'm like, I don't think I can make these real connections anymore. I need to have a rebuilding month, and that's okay. But I think now realizing what season are you in this month? Are you in a connecting month? Are you in a rebuilding month? Like, where are you? Where do you stand? Like, as long as you recognize that, you are good to go. Refill that tank and then start connecting again with people. That is okay in my book.
I love that. That's awesome.
And
it is, because like that really like described it, because like I had to get back to what I was doing before. My tank started to feel empty. I started feeling like, okay, like I'm trying to connect with somebody, but we're not connecting. And like, what's so cool about this business is we're serving people, and these people that we meet and we connect with, they serve us back. And like, I don't think we always remember that. As their lives change, it changes ours. So
it does.
But I love that. That was booked perfectly.
No, that's the goal, you guys. Like, me, like, looking out, like, and seeing all of your faces, like, this is what it is. Like, this, Lisa. Like, this is what it is. This is what makes me tick. I love helping people. I love our challenge groups, but I flipping love the connection that we've made in this tribe that we're building. Like, this is the goal, and we want people to get excited about this. So yes, like we want challenges, we want to fill our challenges, we want to help them get healthy and fit and the whole thing, but we want coaches too. Like this is the ultimate, making a business out of helping people, changing our lives, like building a team like this, it's everything. And I just want to share a quote with you guys that really, it resonated with me. And it said, if I have no other qualities, I can succeed with love alone. And I just think that's beautiful, because in this business, you can take it in so many directions. You can learn how to do webinars. You can learn how to do social media. You can learn all those things. But if you don't put out love and like genuinely treat people, nurture them, care about what they have to say, listen to them, and then also love yourself enough to know your own limits and boundaries and to know your value and to know where you want to be and to care about that. That's what this is all about. You can throw away all those other things, but as long as you have love and belief and care, then you're going to do well.
Can I read a quote from a book that it kind of grows on that? I just pulled off my coffee table.
Please do.
It says, the more time you give to something, the more you reveal its importance and value to you. If you want to know a person's priority, just look at how they use their time.
I love that. I think it's perfect. Like, let's be that team, you guys, that cares about people. You know, Mary Ellen and I were talking about this on our call the other day about how, you know, there are other coaches that obviously are just kind of out there pushing products, and it's pretty blatantly obvious. And like, that's fine. You know, if it works for them, it works for them, but that's not us. Like, we share ourselves, we share pieces of ourselves and our story. And we want to make genuine connections with people, and we want to help them. Like, let that be our mission. Like, let that be our thing, just going out and just wanting to help people 100%.
I think that's perfect, because I think sometimes we get on these calls and people are like, I reached out to 30 people today. And you're just kind of like, I don't know 30 people to reach out to. Let me just reach out to 30 random people. And then it doesn't feel genuine. And you're like, well, cool, I got Success Club points for it, but I don't even know who the hell this person is. Yeah, it's icky.
Yeah, and we don't want icky. We want it to feel good. So make connections with people that you feel like, you know, you have a connection with already. And it's going to make all the difference. That's when, you know, I've been leading with my heart a lot more in the past, you know. I mean, I've always led with my heart, but I was feeling tired. I was feeling really, really just like something wasn't like clicking. And I think it was because I was comparing myself to other coaches as if I should be doing something differently because I'm not hitting Success Club 50. But then I'm like, I have this amazing team that I built from scratch a year ago, and we're all rock stars, and we band together and we support each other. We lift each other up, and we show up on these team calls, and we're all positive. We're all helping people. I realized that this is the feeling I want. The feeling of hitting Success of 50 would be pretty nice, but not compared. I would so much rather a huge, ginormous team of people than any of those Success Club points. I mean that. So let's just keep doing what we're doing. I'll say it again because I said it on another call, doing a bang up job. Lisa thinks that's such a weird statement. She made fun of me before for it. On that note, everyone, does anyone have anything else they want to share? I feel like I'm going over and I never do that. Oh my goodness. All right, guys. Well, I will let you go, and thank you all for coming on. I really appreciate it, and have an amazing night. I'll post this recording too in the team.
Hey, Lindsay.
Oh, yes. Do
you want to chat after about Summit?
Yes.
Okay.
So I guess we'll just stay on then, Lisa.
Okay.
Yeah. All right, guys. Oh, it's funny. See, it's like the Brady Bunch. It really is. Here's the story. I'm a lovely lady. Sorry, Carrie, go ahead. Oh, she's doing the Oh my god, that's hysterical.
I love it.
Just pretend I'm a fly on the wall.
You can chat too.
We're just talking about Summit.
Yes.
Here too.
talk
April should come
about
to Summit.
I wish April could talk to us.
I know. Did you see her rocking that bikini?
Yes, amazing.
So
I
awesome.
should have answered the question. Oh, I think I'm still recording. Okay, let me stop recording.